What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Fomo Factory. Today I'm going to share exactly which altcoins I'm going to buy, and I'm going to tell you also if it's already time to buy some altcoins for me or not. Because, sorry, I'm sick, I'm having a sore throat, some fever, feeling like shit, but we have to do this. We have to prepare in this crypto bear market for the next bull market. Now, it's very funny that Alex Becker, he put out a tweet saying, if you look at what's happening in Counter-Strike Go and what's about to happen with that drop from Dr. Disrespect, freaking awesome game by the way, and similar titles like GTA, etc., a giant crypto gaming run in the next year or so, regardless of the rest of the crypto market, is brutally obvious. Most game coins will do at least a 10 or 20x easy. All it takes is one big hit for absolute FOMO and mass speculation to occur across all gaming tokens, NFTs. You should have a list of 10 or 20 great projects to spread your money around. The rest of crypto can still be in a bear, and this will happen. Well, I partly agree on this. I do think that most game coins will do at least, or 10, 20x, but I also think that most coins will do at least a 10 or a 20x. And that very much depends, of course, from where, right? Because if you say something like this, people might look at today's prices and be like, oh, well, 10 or 20x from here is this and this. It doesn't mean, of course, that, this is the best entry. Like Bitcoin, for example, will Bitcoin do a 10x? Probably. But will Bitcoin do a 10x from $30,000 or will it do a 30x from $20,000? Right now, for altcoins, it's kind of the same. By the way, also in this video, I'm going to ask you a question somewhere. And if you get the answer right, leave a comment. You have a chance of winning $80 worth of BUSD. Just saying, thank you for dedicatedly watching this video. So stay tuned about that. So I'm going to give you my watch list. First of all, my token, the What Do You Meme token, is going so strong, man. We are doing great. We are participating in crypto pre-sales with the money from the project. And that money is going back to the stakers of What Do You Meme. And it's going fantastic, man. I'm so super happy with it. Now, before I'm gonna dive into the exact coins that I'm looking at, yesterday or so, I put out a video saying, hey, I bought $13,000 worth of this coin. It was about Sophiaverse. And a lot of people, they didn't quite get it. They'd be like, but you say you don't buy altcoins all the time and now you bought this altcoin. I've also been saying that I have a lot of funds in launchpads like Seedify and Engine Starter, and I do participate in crypto pre-sales, because they also have a refund policy, right? So the risk there is a lot less than if you just buy it on the open market, right? Plus, if you buy a pre-sale, you automatically buy the bottom, and then it's only up to you to buy to sell the top, of course. If you buy something on the open market, yeah, it can always go down because there are already people that have the token that can dump on you then, right? So that's totally different, of course. With that being said, let's dive into the watch list that I am looking at the moment. So very shortly, Bitcoin is still sitting at around $29,000. It's not doing really that much. It's on the lower time frame. Relative lower time frame, the last month or so, it has been going down, right? Bitcoin is weakening. It was going up right here, but we are making lower lows and lower highs right now. So I do expect for Bitcoin to have a little, weak moment to cool off a little bit, which is definitely not weird if you consider the fact that Bitcoin has basically only been going up this year. And I expect Bitcoin to go down a little bit this year as well. And if you look at this indicator right here, and we go, the logarithmic regression band, you see how Bitcoin is moving since, ever, basically, right? This chart doesn't take it all the way back, but in every bear market, we spend a lot of time in the lower band, and we can be there. Here, it was from February 2015 till May 2017, which was almost 2.5 years. In this bear market, we went there in November 2018, and we got out of it in November 2020, so also 2 years. Now we got into the this band in May 2022. It's now 1.5 years. So we can stay here still for like at least half a year, maybe even a year or 1.5, right? But it doesn't mean that Bitcoin cannot go up in that time, right? Because the upper side of that low band is already sitting at $57,000, and that's still the bearish territory, right? And this band is of course moving up, up, up. So the longer we stay here, you know, the higher the price can get. Also, when we fell back in it here, was $218. Once we got out of it, it was already $1,600. So it doesn't mean that we go down, but it does mean still kind of bear market territory. So that's kind of what I noticed. But to give you a little perspective, in every bull market, we get to the top side, to the upper band, right? And well, that's quite interesting, as the upper band is now already sitting between $130,000 and $210,000, let alone what it's going to be in the actual bull market, right? So I'm very bullish on Bitcoin, and therefore I'm very bullish on good altcoins. Now, I do want to make very clear in this video, I have my watch list, all right? It doesn't mean I'm aping into this watch list right away, okay? I'm still looking at all kind of charts that show, is it time to buy altcoins? The first thing that I look at is the Bitcoin dominance. Is the Bitcoin dominance already really high enough for us to say like, okay, now we can, you know, expect a big leg down, right? If I look at this chart, is the Bitcoin dominance sitting that high? I don't know. I don't know. An alt season would be where it comes down that hard, right? Well, if we come down, technically it's an alt season, but is it the alt season that's really going to change your life? I think we can still go up way more than where we are right now. And also, if where's the chart? Yeah, if I look at the total 3 on its Bitcoin pair, then I still look at it like this, and I feel like, okay, you know, total 3, so this is the complete altcoin market basically on its Bitcoin pair. Yeah, if I look at this, I feel like, okay, this has been going down quite hard the last couple of months, but we can still go down way more. And then altcoins go down on their Bitcoin pair, right? Not necessarily on the dollar pair, but then again, also Bitcoin has only been going up this year. You know, every pre-halving year, Bitcoin goes down in the second half of the year, right? This time could be different, of course, but I'm not betting all my money on that, of course, right? So that would mean that if we come down here and Bitcoin also goes down, that's where altcoins finally really go down, right? We haven't seen that yet, believe it or not. Now, let's get into the charts. I don't want to, you know, make this too long for every one of us. So what altcoins am I looking at? So I have my 2023 DCA watch list right here. I will soon open up a Patreon where you can follow exactly what I buy, when I buy, my current portfolio. I'll give you personal stuff, so stay tuned, but that's not for this video. So the first thing that I'm looking at is Cardano, and I was never a Cardano fan, and I'm not really a Cardano fan yet as well. I don't think it's fast, I don't think it's cheap. I think there are better layer ones out there than Cardano, but Cardano does know how to survive a bear market. And what's interesting about Cardano is that it went to $3 twice, right? And it both times it came from like a cent or 2 cents or so. Now we came from $3 down to like 30 cents. And I do not think that this is the best entry yet. And what I'm looking at specifically with every altcoin to buy it, apart from the Bitcoin dominance and the total 3 divided by Bitcoin, are mostly 3 things. 1, is it stabilizing? Finally, is it making, did it stop making lower lows and lower highs? Well, if I look at this chart, we have obvious lower highs, right? And although it's finally, it's not falling down that hard, it still makes lower highs, right? And here we tried in this wick, did not work as well. Also, we still make lower lows. And although it's not a very lower low, it is still a lower low, so the trend is still down. Now the second thing that I always look at is the bull market support band. So if you are on TradingView and you do not have that, just type bull market, and you will find it. Bull market support band. Put it on the weekly. This is the 20 and the 21 moving average. It's the red and the green line. This is basically the indicator if an asset is in a bull market or in a bear market. Right? You see in a bull market, it gets dragged up by the bull market support band, and it can have wicks above or under it. But every time it gets there, you'll see that it drags it up in a bull market, right? Now, in a bear market, you can basically see it as a bear market resistance band, right? We finally got below it, and we really get rejected from that, right? And that's when you can consider selling an asset. Now, of course, again, don't do that right away. Right here as well, we got above it, and then we got under it again, right? It doesn't necessarily have to mean anything. You really want to see something hold. So here as well, we got below it. Don't sell right away. See how it plays out. And if it constantly gets rejected, you can always sell it then. You will have the same selling entry in this case, but you know at least that you do not miss out on another 3x right there, right? But Cardano is currently still under the bull market support band. Now, for reference, Bitcoin at the moment, let me get a slightly cleaner chart, right? Bitcoin at the moment is well above its bull market support band, right? We broke above it right here, tested it, support, tested it, support, and now we're getting there again. You don't want to judge too soon, okay? Here, this was also in last cycle, pre-halving year, kind of the same happened. We went above it, we got dragged up, 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 and we still went down and went all the way down here, okay? This is kind of, this where we are right now, in my opinion, is kind of here somewhere, right? Also makes sense if you look at the month, July 2019, August, right? That's exactly 4 years ago in this 4-year cycle. It plays out quite creepy ass perfectly. All right. But a lot of altcoins, so Bitcoin is above it, but a lot of altcoins are still below it. Right. And it shows the weakness in altcoins right now. So Cardano still below it. I want to see how this plays out. Now, also a third thing is that I'm looking at, one of the most important things is altcoins on their Bitcoin pair. Right? Because you can say like, well, you know, if you look at Cardano, the best time to buy it was basically here, was kind of a double bottom, right? It was sitting at the same place in December 2022. Yeah, if you look at Cardano in December 2022, it was sitting here, right? Which is a big difference. It went almost twice as low. Well, not almost, it went more than twice as low, right? So Cardano just put in a new low. So still looking very weak. So I'm not, that's in general, before I'm getting on with the watch list in a higher speed, but that's general information. That's the 3 things that I'm looking at. Okay, higher lows, higher highs, bull market support band, and the Bitcoin pair. Apart from the Bitcoin dominance and the total 3 divided by Bitcoin. So Cardano is one. Next one I'm looking at is Altora. Altora, you know, it's all about smart NFTs, and it somehow really seems to catch the hype. And Altora is a really bullish project in my opinion. Now, Altora is a project that I'm lucky that I bought some cheap Altora somewhere here. I don't know exactly where, but I made some decent profits off of it. I wanted to get more though. I wanted to get more here already, right? And I didn't buy because it was already getting high. Now it's again higher. So, you know, was a great buy in hindsight. But yeah, you do not know these things in hindsight, right? Usually when this happens in crypto in these times, it goes down. So although in this case, this was the wrong decision, I'm happy I didn't do that. Because if I did buy it right here, then it says something about me for buying the pumps, and usually that doesn't play out. So Altora, I'm really waiting until it cools off. And then I'm really interested in getting this. And don't be afraid that if a coin like Altora, let's say I'm saying like, okay, I'm waiting for it to cool off, and Altora keeps on doing this. Okay, cool. I missed out. Fuck it, next one, right? Don't get emotional over this kind of stuff. This is one altcoin out of the hundreds of thousands that there are, right? If you miss out on 1 or 2, so be it, right? It's better missing out on something than FOMOing in on everything and getting yourself wrecked, in my opinion. Next one is AVAX. And I'm getting into the gaming stuff, by the way, because I just believe, just like Alex Beck tweeted, like gaming is going to be like freaking enormous, right? And I have some real micro cap gaming projects in this watch list, and I have some real steady projects in here as well. But yeah, you know, AVAX also quite goes hand in hand with gaming though. But AVAX is a good layer one. Don't underestimate it. Now, I must say that if you look at the dollar pair of AVAX, right, you can say like, okay, you know, this was the bottom area, this was the bottom area, this was the bottom area. And purely by looking at that chart, and if you have no position in AVAX whatsoever, man, it's definitely not the worst idea to maybe dollar cost a little bit, right? Because, you know, overall, I do think that AVAX in the next bull run will be higher than the current $13, right? So in that case, why not dollar cost already, right? You don't want to time the bottom anyway. But still, if I look at this, I do see AVAX sitting under its bull market support band. And even with all these fake outs right here, it just did not manage to break above it, and it's still below it. Now, if I look at AVAX on its Bitcoin pair, sorry for all these drawings here, by the way. But if I look at AVAX on its Bitcoin pair, yeah, then it's very obvious that AVAX is not in the bottom range, right? AVAX is making clear lower lows and lower highs, and like pretty hard as well, right? And what I always said, you buy in the accumulation phase where it goes sideways, right? That's where you buy, not on the way down, because you do not know how far it can go down. In that case, you could have also bought here. Yeah, in that case, you would have already now been 60% down, right? That's not strategic dollar costing. So be very, look at Bitcoin charts as well. It says a lot, because yes, if you do not care about Bitcoin, you might feel like, well, why would I do that? Very simple, because AVAX on its Bitcoin pair is now sitting at lows. Right? The reason that AVAX dollar is holding up is only because Bitcoin went up 2x, right? What if Bitcoin comes down? Which it does every pre-halving year, right? So if you are buying altcoins right now, you're basically saying, well, this time is going to be totally different for Bitcoin. If you believe that, then you can definitely go crazy on this stuff. But I want to be a little careful with that for myself. But I do think that AVAX is a very good entry. Well, I have Bitcoin in this list. Don't need to talk about Bitcoin really. Then let's throw in one low cap gaming crypto. That's Chain Guardians. And I want to make really clear about these low caps that this is extremely high risk, high reward. Okay, extremely high risk, high reward. You can lose your money with this. So if I, let's say, have $10,000 in total and I have, let's say, 10 coins in my watch list. So I want to divide, you know, very statically $1,000 per token on average. Then Chain Guardians would be the type of coin that I feel like, okay, that's going to get 400 or 500 maybe, right? Why? Well, first, this coin is way more likely to die than an AVAX, for example, right? Or Bitcoin or whatever. And also, this coin can pump way harder, right? So you might feel like, well, if I put a lot of money in that and it pumps really hard, I make freaking a lot of money. Yeah, but that's your risk reward right there, right? If you want to also not really lose your money, then I would say, you know, put in a little less, because if everything is going to do with 10x, yeah, then this thing is going to do with 20x. Right? So you're risking less money to get the same reward. That's basically what you do. But Chain Guardians is a gaming project with a current market cap of $5 million. It's really low. And you should not really look at this like, oh, where did the price came from? $4. It's now sitting at 5 cents. So it could do 100x. It's kind of bullshit. You always want to compare the market cap, right? And the market cap was sitting at 112, let's say 110, right? So it can do a 50, 60x or so. Now, why is that different? That's because there are now more tokens in circulation. So you don't want to really compare to all-time highs when it comes to the price, but all-time high when it comes to the market cap, okay? Because going back to that $4 or so is actually a new all-time high. And I'm not saying that it can't. but it's not really that comparable. But this is a coin that I feel like, yeah, this could be a moonshot. However, if I now look at the chart, yeah, what you can do, you can make two things out of this. One, you can say, okay, it's been in this low since January as well, and that was a beautiful buying opportunity because it did a 3x since then, right? And now you basically get a second chance. You can look at it like that. And if this coin will survive, then this definitely won't be a bad entry, I think. On the other hand, the crypto market just has to take a pinch and go down like with 2%, and Chain Guardians has nothing to fall back on anymore. Every form of support is gone on this chart, right? So this is basically, since its existence, it's price exploring to the downside. So you're fucking playing with fire with these kind of things. Champions, NFT champions, same thing basically, right? Beautiful game, Pokemon style. Look it up if you do not know about it and you do care about crypto gaming, you believe in it. Go on YouTube, check out NFT champions. You're really gonna love what you see. The graphics are on point, listed on the Epic Game Store, really nice. I think this was the Epic Game Store pump, where it went from this, well, 1 cent basically to 3.5 cents. Now it's back to half a cent, right? When you look at these kind of things, you might feel like, damn, what a beautiful buying opportunity this is. Again, on the other hand, it's now here. It can also go here, right? There's no reason why it can't, okay? Back when we were here, 40 cents, people would have never thought it was going to half a cent, right? So if I'm now say it can go to a tenth of a cent, which is 6 times lower, sounds super unrealistic, which is way more realistic than this price drop over here, and this also happened, okay? And I'm not saying that kind of stuff to be bearish, but I want to say that stuff because everything is possible in crypto, and you are playing with your money, okay? And your money is precious, of course, so stay a little safe when it comes to that. And also, always, when you make such a watch list, then look up the token on CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, wherever. Check out, is there volume, right? In this case, there's not a lot of volume. So you always want to go on that Twitter or go on the Telegram, the Discord, wherever, and just check out, like, are they still out there, right? Are they still tweeting? Well, in this case, they are. Right, they're still out there, so that's a good thing. But you also want to get into the community, right? Like I said, for example, get into the Telegram and not just look like, are people still talking, but just try to, you know, feel the vibe in here. You don't have to catch up with everything, but just look at what people are saying. Are people still bullish on the project, or is it silence, and is it full of FUD, and what's the reason in that case? Now, I don't see that, you know, that crazy kind of stuff, right? Somebody, of course, said that, you know, people start to laugh about that. People know that that's not the case in this case. So, you know, but again, also NFT champions, super high risk in this case, but the reward can be enormous as well. Another low cap gaming gem is Decimated. Decimated has been out there for a while as well, never really performed. Nevertheless, it doesn't mean that it can't. Okay, Decimated, the project really looks quite interesting in my opinion. And the community is super strong as well. And I really like what they are building and how it all looks like. And this is some kind of a project that can go down hard in the bear market and really come back in the bull market, build on Solana. Solana has a lot of hate. I don't really get it. I love Solana. People say it's centralized. I don't really give a shit. I don't really give a shit. I mean, you know, with all the, to be honest, with all the scams going on and people losing their coins and shit, and I don't know how bad centralization is actually, and that's the chain, right? I really don't give a fuck about all of that. But Decimated, really looking good. The project itself, the price chart, on the other hand, I don't really know about that. It seemed to have found a bottom right here in March, right? And we're now way above that bottom. So it has some room to go down at least. You have to realize that the stochastic RSI is now finally going down. So, you know, and it has been crashing quite hard the last couple of weeks. Right, so even when people say like, well, the hard bear market is over, I don't know, man. If you buy at the wrong time, you can still lose 50% of your money pretty fast, right? So yeah, you really want to be patient, and it's very easy to lose a lot of money in this phase of the market still. But yeah, on the other hand, if you do not take these risks, then you also won't make money. So at a certain point, this probably will come up and can make you a lot of money. Yeah, I'm not telling you when to buy shit, by the way. Next one is Dogecoin. I never spoke about Dogecoin really, but I quite like, look, Dogecoin, it's shit, right? We all know that it's shit. It has an unlimited supply and it doesn't do anything, right? Like, it's more of the community. But with Elon backing it up and all of that, Dogecoin is strong. You can say whatever you want, but Dogecoin is just really strong. And I feel like it might be a pretty easy 10x in the next bull run. Not saying 10x from this price though. It's 8 cents. Could it go back to 80 cents? It could, right? But if you, for example, buy it at 5 cents, right? Then a 10x is way more likely because then it only has to go to 50 cents, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's your exit price is not the most important thing. It's, you know, your entry price is just as important. People sometimes focus too much on, well, I want to make a 10x, so this coin has to go there. Well, not really. It depends on where you buy it, right? So if I say that a project goes down or that I want a project to go down, it's not because I'm bearish. It's more because I'm bullish and I want to get the best entry on such a project. Dogecoin on its Bitcoin pair, which is quite interesting, has been in this bottom range already before last year in June, and it's now, it went here again. All right, so Dogecoin actually has some room to go down. So Dogecoin is definitely not bad. Something that I really would look into. Next one that I like is Gala. Gala, I don't like Gala. I don't really like the team. The team doesn't really give a shit about the investors, but they build good stuff. Now, what I also really like about Gala price-wise is that when you look at what happened last year, end of year, it went all the way down here, right, to 1.5 cents. And there was some Gala hype going on, and it got pumped all the way to 6 cents, right? Although Gala is so high cap and has quite some liquidity for an altcoin, right? It managed to pump quite hard. So this showed me like, okay, if in a small relief rally in a bear market, this pump already happens, like Gala did like a 4 or 5x right here, like 4x, then I feel like, okay, in a bull market, it can really do some good stuff. Price-wise, it's, by the way, spoiler, it's all sitting under the bull market support band. Like, there are a couple of exceptions maybe, but basically every coin is showing that weakness right now, right? And also Gala on its Bitcoin pair, it's not comparable to what it was right here, right? Gala is sitting at lows right now, right? So therefore, I'm still overall pretty bearish on altcoins because I'm bearish on Bitcoin, right? Midterm, basically, because I don't think that Bitcoin is going to make new lows. Don't get me wrong. But Bitcoin can at least go to maybe $22,000 or so. You know, one recession, there's so much that could make it happen. Whatever the reason is, you know, this is what happens in the pre-halving years. It just happens. We have a pump, we have a dump, right? The one before that as well. It always happens. Right, and I'm not putting my money on this time is different. That's nonsense. That never worked for me, right? So I'm bearish on Bitcoin, short, medium term, right? Therefore, I'm bearish on altcoins, all right? Which is good because if I want to, again, make some good money with Gala, will Gala go back to its old all-time high, which is around a 40x from here? I don't know, but it doesn't matter. Because if I can get Gala here, for example, then I can still make a 40x, even if it goes half of the all-time high, right? And that's a lot more realistic. Next one is Hello. Hello has the hype, man. I don't know. Hello Labs has the hype. And the price is not interesting for me at the moment. I'm going to be completely honest. When Hello came out, it did fantastic. And it's looking for its fair value, basically, right? And I'm very patiently waiting with these kind of things to see what the fair value is, right? If I go to another project, like a lot of people and a lot of influencers that they talked about Magic, for example, right? Yeah, if I look at Magic, people were bullish, and then it found its real price again, right? This was the hype pump, this was the hype dump, and now we're gonna see what it's actually worth, right? Now with Hello, I'm kind of in the same camp, to be honest. Hello, we had the pump. I want to see what's the dump going to be, right? And if there's no dump, there's no dump. Also fine with me, but I'm not buying that high pump yet. But the project looks very interesting. Next one is Illuvium. Illuvium is one of the better looking game. What the fuck is this? Illuvium is one of the better looking gaming projects out there, in my opinion. But I do want to show you this. So if you look at tokenunlocks.app, you can see token unlocks, right? And I've been saying for more than a year now, I don't buy Illuvium, and I'm quite happy with that, right? Because if you look at Illuvium, where it came from, it's now sitting at the lows. However, if you look at the unlock, this is what you see. Right? I've been saying here, like, guys, don't buy, hard unlock, hard unlock, hard unlock. And now I said, you know, at least don't buy it before July 2023. Why? Because then the hard unlock is at least over. You can still skip it for this part, but this unlock is not that hard. Plus, this is 2024, 2025, when I expect a bull run. And a bull run usually beats an unlock, especially if it's not that hard. Right, so Illuvium is getting interesting at this moment when it comes to the unlocks. When it comes to the general crypto market, I still feel like, okay, it's under the bull market support band. On its Bitcoin pair, you know, it just made a lower low like 4 weeks ago. Right, so please don't come at me like in 3 weeks when Illuvium did this, like it did right here, right? Because after all, we still went down again, and this was all noise. If you're trading, it's nice. If you're an investor, it didn't fucking matter, right? But in the meantime, on its Bitcoin pair, it did went down, and I did bought Bitcoin, right? So instead of playing even, I made money, right? And now I can use my Bitcoin to buy more Illuvium, right? Because there it's sitting at lower lows, right? So still here, Illuvium going down very hard. It's in the free fall, basically. It just doesn't look good yet, right? But I'm very bullish on the project long term. I just want to see, you know, where's the price going to bottom out? And again, I'm not trying to catch the bottom, but right, if it's going down, what's the purpose of buying every fucking dip? That's just throwing your money away. I don't have that much FOMO. I don't try to get emotional like that. But I want to see at what point is it really going to bottom out. And then I can always buy it here or here or here, right? Still would have a better entry, right, than everybody that FOMO'd in over here, right? And that's, you know, crypto is player first player after all. So you want to get the best entry. Next one, IMX. Yeah, IMX is also pretty strong, I must say. This IMX on its dollar pair. And IMX on its dollar pair, shorter term, excuse me, shorter term, it is, you know, cooling down finally. It came from 160 basically, and it came all the way down to 50 cents already. It's now sitting at 75. I want to see how this plays out as well. If I look at IMX on its Bitcoin pair, it's sitting at the lows, give or take, and it's finding a pretty stable price floor right here. So not the worst time to maybe put the first dollar cost in. By the way, question for the giveaway for you to win the BUSD. Can you leave a comment down below what the price was of the What Do You Meme token that I showed in the video? If you have it right, you have a chance of winning $80 worth of BUSD. Next one, Compete. Compete is a project that I'm getting more bullish on as the more I look at it. The project, just the game itself, it looks very fucking cool. Price-wise, it's really showing weakness right now, right? You saw with Compete, and this is a beautiful example of the bull market support band. Once we break above it, we climb, we find support, but we climb, right? But we finally broke below it, and we tried again to get above it, but we got a hard rejection right there. So this is how the bull market support band is going to play out if Compete stays at this level, right? So therefore, it will probably have some trouble and get slapped down the coming weeks, months, right? So therefore I am bullish on the project, but the current price is not interesting for me. I think it can go a lot lower than where we are right now. Non-gaming, but this is Chainlink, and this is the last one that I'm going to do in this video. I will post another video, I think tomorrow, with the rest, because this is half of my watch list and I don't want to make the video too long. So stay tuned, subscribe, turn on the bell notification. Tomorrow we'll do the rest. But Chainlink is also looking like, and that's kind of mentally fucking with you when it comes to crypto, because Chainlink, it looks like it's in an accumulation phase. Right? It looks like that. You have the downtrend. Look, beautiful. You have the uptrend. Let me zoom out. Oh, you have the, yeah, whatever, fuck it. You have the uptrend, you have the distribution phase, you have the downtrend, and you have the accumulation phase. And what I always say, accumulation phase is where you buy, right? But then again, if I look at Bitcoin, Chainlink Bitcoin, what do I see right there? I don't see an accumulation phase right there, really. Right? I see lower lows and lower highs. Just put in a lower low a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, right? And making a higher high to get out of this downtrend. Yeah, then Chainlink now against its Bitcoin pair at least has to go up by 76%. I don't think that's that realistic. So as long as it's making lower lows and lower highs, then it's very likely so far that Chainlink will put in another lower low. So why would I buy right now if the trend is saying that it still goes down? Right? Until the end of the trend, I'm not going against it. Right? That's stupid because that would have got you wrecked basically for the last 2 years. Right? Chainlink has made its low in August 2020 for the last 3 years. Right? So going against a 3 years long trend because FOMO is just stupid. Right? So I want to see how this plays out though. But overall, I do think it's a very good long-term hold. Now guys, I'm gonna wrap up the video. I'm feeling a little fucked up today, so but I hope it gives you a little insight, not just on the altcoins that I'm looking at, but also what I'm looking at with these altcoins, and how you can keep your emotions a little under control. If I look at the rest of the watch list, yeah, very interesting, quite some low cap still, so make sure to tune in tomorrow for the other half of the video, where I will share the rest of this watch list and some other interesting stuff that I have to share by then as well. So stay tuned, take care.